do.
I'm
take a look,
very
please.
nervous.
I
If
see
there's
that, and
any break
it's
you
not going to be
can
that
give
bad,
me,
okay?
I'm a school teacher. Can you please just give me a break?
Well, I tell you what, we're off to a good sign because I didn't come back with anything in my hands so far.
Okay.
Everything's looking good, and you know what? That's good. That is good. So, what you have allowed me to do is have a conversation with you. You've been polite. I don't, I'm sorry that you're kind of timid about it, but you did good by starting us off on the right foot. Okay. Yeah, you did something wrong. You're doing 12 over what's posted. I'll let you know the fine for it would be $206, and it would be a point ticket that would probably kind of mess with your insurance down the road. But I'm also confident, because we have been able to talk about it, that I've made the point that you got to watch the speed through, right?
Absolutely.
Everywhere you go. So I chose not to write you a ticket tonight.
I appreciate that. You're about to make me cry.
I'm going to hand this back to you. Now, before I'm done and I walk away, do you have any questions for me? About what happened here, or just overall, because you responded properly when I stopped you, almost overboard.
Okay.
Maybe do you have questions you want to ask me about this situation overall? Anything that you want to know about if this happens again?
Well, that was going to be my question to you. So in the future, of course, slow down, be aware of what I'm doing and where I'm going, but how can I do better coming through here? Just whatever. And I want this to be a lesson for my son as well.
Okay. So every time that you cross a big intersection, there's a potential that the speed is going to change. So you as the driver kind of got to be watching for that. Unfortunately, it's not easy. You are probably doing what you're supposed to be doing by watching the other cars around you. We're out here tonight doing pedestrian violations. You got people running out on the road that you got to watch for.
Okay.
There is a lot going on. When you're a driver, your senses are getting overloaded. This space right here between 5th Avenue South and 5th Avenue North is bad for that.
Okay.
So I don't know what was going on with YouTube. Maybe you were talking, which, man, you should be able to talk to your son in the car, right?
Right.
But I'm just saying, there's always things that distract us. So do what you can to eliminate those.
Okay.
But just know, dang, it's all I am 10-4-10-6. Yeah, you just got to, every time you cross these big intersections, be watching for a change in speed, because it does go up and down. 34th Street goes from 35 where it gets tight down here. It gets up to 40 as you go a little further up.
Yes.
It gets up to 45 a little further than that. But then if you're coming back down, it's 45, 40, 35. It gets slower. So that's.
Okay.
I wish I had the magic answer to tell you how not to get that speed through your
No.
It's just taking in everything, and that's what driving is all about, is watching for a lot of different stuff.
And I do appreciate that, and no one's ever explained it to me like that, and I didn't think to watch the intersections. The speed limit's going from one intersection to the next, so I do appreciate you sharing that.
That's where they're posted. Other than that, I tell you what, the traffic stop, you may never get stopped by an officer again. You did really good. You pulled off to the side.
Thank you.
Right away. That's what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to pull to the right. If there's a safe place to pull off the road, you do it.
Okay.
You can't keep driving a half mile to find that, so you would stop, and then talk to the officer. But you did that part perfect.
Okay.
I came up to the car. I appreciate this. That's more than most people would do. I do want to see people's hands. So if you're the driver, you can just kind of put them on the steering wheel until we kind of say, hey, thank you, and then just let us talk, and be polite. Because you'd be surprised. We've got to do our jobs.
I get it.
But when we can communicate, sometimes that job allows us to do a warning.
And
Some people want to let us
appreciate
do that. Some people don't want to talk to us. And so all I got to do then at that point is I have to give them the ticket because we weren't able to talk.
And that's what I try to teach them. You all have a job too, and your goal at the end of the night is to get home. So I totally understand that, which is why I teach them this. But I appreciate you sharing that with. I'm sorry, I'm choked up.
I hope on the positive side now.
On the positive side, yes, because you did something that you didn't have to do, and I appreciate that. But I thank you also for sharing that. For the driver, I at least need to put my arms here. My hands here, so that you can see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that all makes it so that the conversation goes so much better after that. Now I'm at ease.
Yes.
I know that I've dealing with somebody who respects what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For somebody who probably doesn't get pulled over very often, you did that part very well.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions before I take off?
You have any questions?
As a passenger, where do I put my hands?
So kind of the same thing. This can get uncomfortable, and it's a little bit, I won't say it's too much, because anytime that you're doing something to let me know that you guys are good, it helps. But for your comfort, on your lap where I can see them. You know, on the dash where I can see them.
Okay.
Honestly, with your hands up there, I kind of wondered, what is this guy doing over there? I had to, being a tall guy, I had to duck down.
Okay.
So try and be comfortable, because sometimes we're on our guard too when people are doing something a little bit not quite normal either.
Okay.
But really, like, I respect the fact that you guys were doing something. That's the message that you were trying to convey to me, is that my hands are right here, I can see them, and that's, at the end of it, that's what I need to know.
Okay.
So, yeah. And again, you may never get pulled over again in your life. You may never have to use this information. But if you do, now you know it. And the last thing I'm going to leave, I'm going to say it one more time. Just let us talk to you. And then have a conversation about things. Because sometimes I may not have saw what you saw, and you may be able to explain it to me. And I'm going to go, they're right. They are right. So that happens quite often.
All right.
Get out of here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good evening.
You as well. God is so good. God is so good. I'm gonna chalk that up to me paying my tithes yesterday and pulling my teacher card. But God is so good, because he didn't have to, and that did make me emotional. That he could have wrote us a ticket. And did you hear how much I think it would have been? How much?
Like 200 something.
Yeah, $210. That's a lot of money. And you get a hit on your insurance. So you have to take a class, and you got to pay to take the class. So, I mean, tickets are very expensive.
So, do you want me to save this recording? Because I was recording.
You are so smart.
So you want me to save it because since it was some good stuff?
You can turn it off, yeah.